What up, guys? It's your boy Quake, and Jay-Z has officially decided he is going on the offense instead of the defense for the year of 2026. Jay-Z has stopped by for a rare interview with GQ magazine, and they did two versions. They did an article version, which is the same as the video version, and obviously more people are going to watch the video version than read the article version. So let's go over this interview, what he addresses, what he doesn't address, and more. Immediately off the rip, he addresses the accusation that was done between him and Diddy by the Busby lawyer. And he says off the rip that it hurt his whole 2025 and that, he never grew up with those, rules and morals. So I'm going to go over the article because the video has a little bit of details that's left out. In the article, it's a little more detailed. He says this. The person asks, how would you rate your 2025? Jay-Z says, it was hard, really hard. I was heartbroken. I'm glad we got right to that so we could just get that out the way. Like, I was really heartbroken by everything that occurred. We're in a space now where it's almost like consequence is not thought about enough because everything is so instant. You know what I'm saying? The whole lawsuit thing, that shit took a lot out of me. I was angry. I haven't been that angry in a long time. Uncontrollable anger. You don't put that on someone. That's a thing. You better be super sure. It used to be like that. You had to be super sure before you put those kinds of things on a person, especially a person like me. Even when we're doing the worst things, we had those kind of rules. There was a line, no women, no kids. You hear those sayings, but those are the things that I took from the street. We lived and died by that. So it's strict for me, like it meant a lot to me. I took that really hard. I knew that we were going to walk through that because, first of all, it's not true. And the truth at the end of the day still reigns supreme. So there's that, right? He's just saying, hey, I never, grew up doing those type of things. I would never do those type of things. So he was willing to go fully through with the whole lawsuit and, defend himself in court. But ultimately, the lawsuit got dropped because there was not enough evidence. And, when you sue somebody, you better come with some type of evidence that this person actually did this. So it's cool that he addressed that immediately off the jump, that he wasn't ducking no smoke, no, soft ball questions. That's one thing I liked about this interview, that it was pretty, it wasn't like crazy questions left and right, but it was, decently asked questions that, hey, let me address these things that people have said about me. Going on further, he actually talks about his role in the NFL Super Bowl halftime show and the backlash that he got for choosing Kendrick Lamar over somebody else for the Super Bowl halftime show. Because a lot of people have said that he secretly hates Drake and that he chose Kendrick Lamar to further destroy Drake's legacy in his career. And a lot of people also got mad at him not choosing Lil Wayne over Kendrick Lamar because the show was in New Orleans, where Lil Wayne's hometown is at. So a lot of people wanted Lil Wayne to perform in his hometown for the Super Bowl instead of Kendrick Lamar. So he addressed that in this clip. Check it out.
When we're talking about putting on for the culture, what does it mean to you to be at the helm of a cultural event so important as the Super Bowl?
I think everyone should experience music in its totality. And for a lot of years, it was only one side of music that was being represented.
Yeah.
And we got the opportunity to create a more balanced idea of what popular music is today.
Yeah.
I'm not going out on a limb. It's the most famous people in the world.
Statistically supported.
It's like, I'm not like, I didn't pick like the indie artist that I really like from Portland. The #1 streamed artist in the world. Him.
People made it a personal thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's he's not.
Like I don't have, what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like, what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like, not just me, by the way. They drag everybody in it. Like, everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But it's like, what the like, what? I'm Jay-Z. or due respect to him. I'm old. Do respectfully.
Word.
Like, for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
So there you have it. Jay-Z is basically saying that, hey, I got into the NFL Super Bowl to add more diversity because there wasn't enough representation of current music, which is obviously hip hop. And then, he like bragfully, talks about I'm Hove, I'm Jay-Z. Why would I, have to do these things? But, we've heard a lot of behind the scenes of him doing this petty stuff. So it doesn't matter like just because you're a billionaire or you're Jay-Z or, you can still be a petty person and do things behind the scenes towards someone to protect your legacy or to do, whatever you feel like doing. So that whole argument is like, I'm Jay-Z. It's like when Drake said that, I'm Drake. Why would I need to, get with underage girls? It's like, so what? R. Kelly did it. Like, what do you mean I'm Drake? I'm a celebrity. That doesn't mean that you wouldn't get with an underage girl. I'm not saying that Drake did, but I'm just, using that as an example. Like Jay-Z saying, hey, I'm Jay-Z. This is why, I wouldn't do this. I'm just Jay-Z. Like, why would I have to do this? Like, that's a bad excuse, But I get where he's coming from. He's saying that, like, hey, I got other things to worry about. Their battle back and forth has been brewing for a long time. It's got nothing to do with me. And that, Kendrick just had a massive year and he deserved, that time at the Super Bowl, which I can agree. Kendrick's year was great because of the Drake battle, though. It wasn't because Kendrick came out and dropped an amazing album that year. It was because he decided to jump out on the Metro Boomin project and diss Drake. And then because of the Drake battle, he had a massive year. Continuing on, though, he talks about something very interesting. And in this clip, he talks about what he thinks about the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar battle. In this clip, he breaks down the 4 pillars of hip hop. And he says it's breakdancing, battling, graffiti, and the DJ. And he basically breaks down each one and says, hey, this one died, this one died, this one died. But the only one that survived is the battling. And he feels like potentially that's the one that needs to be going away as well. So check out the clip.
But as someone who was part of probably the genre's biggest rap beef.
Well, until now.
As a spectator,
Yeah.
What did you think of the 2024 back and forth between him and Drake?
I'm going to have an answer you're not going to like.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you're going to like that. That's presumptuous. I think that, look, there was 4 pillars of hip hop. There are 4 pillars of hip hop, right?
Yep.
There's breakdancing.
Yep.
And it's graffiti.
Yep.
There's DJing and battling.
Yep.
Breakdance is not at the forefront of rap anymore. It's actually an Olympics sport. So that's dead. Graffiti.
Yeah.
Beautiful, in certain places.
Yeah.
And even in major art and like Keith Haring
Yeah.
and Basquiat, actually, the street artist,
Yep.
took it to a next level. It's not part of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
DJing. The DJ was in the forefront. It was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Right. Yeah.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Yeah.
You don't even know the DJ for half of the artists anymore. Who's Drake DJ? I have no idea. Okay.
Couldn't tell you off top.
That no longer exists. And the last pillar is battling. We love the excitement. And I love the sparring and the music you get.
Mm-hmm.
But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. Where the fallout lands, especially on on social media, which takes place every day.
Yeah.
And now you have these pods of cult.
The Stan armies fighting.
Yeah, and it's like, it's too far.
Yeah.
It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that. Maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
It could stand it before because there was no social media and there was no thing. And, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're
to
still talking about it.
It's not just talking about it. Not like, yo, this song, I like this.
Yeah.
No, it's like trying to tear down the people's life.
Yeah.
It's like trying to, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's interesting.
Again, I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
Just everything around it was just like, man, it's like taking us a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And we just grown so much that I don't know if, I guess I'm gonna say it, I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Interesting.
I hate that I have this point of view. I do, because I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I hate it.
I think he has a valid point when it comes to, how far some of these things go. And right now, the effects of the Drake and Kendrick beef are horrible. Like, the stands have taken it to a level where it's just become very disrespectful. And every bar that either Kendrick or Drake raps now is going to be dissected into thinking that they're sending subliminals to each other. From now on forward, and even before it was that, but now it's like, okay, they actually hate each other. They had a beef. Now we know they hate each other 100%. There's no subliminals that we think are bars towards somebody. Now it's like, okay, every bar is going to be dissected and assumed that, hey, this is a diss towards him. This is a diss towards him. And the stands have taken it to levels that is astronomically, like, just horrible. I'm disgusted with it. I don't even want to hear about the Drake and Kendrick beef anymore because it's just become that corny. Like, it should have been about the music, the diss tracks, and that's it. And after the battle's done, hey, you make your decision on who won and who didn't and move on from it. No more discussing, because there's stands still on social media going back and forth. Oh, Kendrick's using bots, Drake's using bots. Oh, this and that. Oh, I dug up this information. Like, that being that invested into a battle is, like, unhealthy. Move on from it. It happened. You have your side of who you think win and lost, and that's it. Move on from it. So I agree with that aspect. Is I think it probably did more harm than good. But we'll see, I guess, as the years go on. I hope that, this kind of people move on, as time goes on. But I highly doubt it. I think it's going to get even worse as time goes on. Maybe Drake's going to feed into it more because he feels like he lost in the public eye, and he might end up sending more subliminals so than Kendrick does. So if Kendrick and Drake feed into it, is just going to be worse on their stand side of their fan base. And then Jay-Z makes an interesting comparison between his beef with Nas, with Drake, and Kendrick Lamar. He says that both beefs were brewing for a long time. I'm glad Jay-Z officially addressed that because I don't know if he ever did in the past. He was like, hey, okay, yeah, this beef has been brewing for a long time with Nas. We had little subliminals back and forth, and then we finally clashed. And the same thing happened with Drake and Kendrick. That's why I reference the two beefs a lot. Even in my Nas and Jay-Z documentary I made, I make reference to Drake and Kendrick potentially beefing because I saw it from a mile away. They were sending subliminals at each other. Anybody that's actually invested in hip-hop could see that. So I didn't predict it. A lot of people have commented in that documentary that I made with Nas and Jay-Z that I predicted the Drake and Kendrick beef. No, I was just paying attention to the bars, and it made it very clear that, they were sending subliminals to each other. So that comparison is very warranted. So check out what Jay-Z says in this clip.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened at Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth what is the Myth slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your hat. It was a bunch of little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, I actually regret that because I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
And then he addressed his relationship with J. Cole, which was interesting because he kind of hinted at them not being cool with each other. He said in the clip, he says, well, there's some weird things going on with the auditing. So that's very interesting that J. Cole is auditing Roc Nation. Maybe he feels like there's some money that he's owed that he didn't get. Or, artists, any smart artist audits the label eventually. 50 did it. I'm pretty sure Eminem has done it to his extent. I'm pretty sure, all the major smart artists at least have done it, where they audit the record label, see where the money's at, if the money's actually good, if he's getting everything, his rights that he's owed and all that stuff. So check out this clip.
An artist's expression should be their expression. Mm-hmm. I really fall back. That's what I think what happened with Cole. Like, just the narrative around Cole is that we didn't love Cole. No, we believed in him enough to let him find his journey.
Yeah.
And he found his path. It took him a minute.
Yeah.
But he found his way.
What is your relationship with Cole like these days?
obviously there's things behind the scenes with, artists and shit like that gets complicated.
Yeah.
But I think you given a chance to prove that you're above board is an opportunity.
Word.
So I don't have any negative feelings for him. I'm actually super proud of him and what he's done.
It sounds like you're still, like, when you came in, we were talking about the mixtape, like you're still engaging with the work as a fan too.
Yeah, Clue sent it to me actually.
Oh, word?
Clue, not Cole.
Yeah?
He sent it to me because he's proud, right?
Yeah.
The thing about Clue, like he have like a resurgence behind it.
Yeah.
Like I said, very interesting that he said that. I mean, he gives, obviously, J. Cole his props and says that he wishes him nothing but the best. But J. Cole, there's been bars on the fall off that people have kind of dissected and been like, maybe he's dissing Roc Nation and Jay-Z because he doesn't like, what he saw behind the scenes potentially when it comes to his deal. So that's like speculation. But Jay-Z kind of throwing that in there and addressing that was really interesting because he didn't have to say that. He could have just been like, hey, me and J. Cole's relationship is cool. And then he also said in the clip, if you guys heard it, he was like, Clue sent me the mixtape that J. Cole made, not J. Cole. So he made it very clear that me and J. Cole aren't talking. That was Clue that sent me the clip. So that's interesting to that extent. And the last thing he addresses is if he's going to drop new music. And he says that he was in a very dark, weird place when he was making music. So he's like, I want to get out of that and get more into a, clear-headed space. So then when I do record music and it drops, it's more of what I'm feeling at the moment. So check this out.
I mean, just to be like, a small cog in that wheel, I'm getting out that creativity. But again, I was just so like heavy, and I don't know how to make music that's not reflective of how I'm feeling at the moment. It would have been fiery,
That would have been.
but I don't know. I don't know if it's done more harm than good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, because I have a lot of like scratch ideas, and they like all bad. I gotta be honest, they're bad. It's just like all bad.
The streets really.
That's it for this Jay-Z GQ interview. Let me know what you guys think. This is very clear that he's going to drop music pretty soon here. Because him saying he's on the offense this year instead of the defense, to me indicates that he's going to release some stuff. We don't know when. I'm pretty sure during the summer, maybe even the fall, because he's doing those little special dates and tours, shows that he's doing on I forget the Roots. And he's got those 1-2 shows for the Blueprint and the Regional Doubt album. So it's going to be interesting to see, man, what he drops and what he does this year. I think a lot of artists are going to be dropping this year. I know Drake is getting ready. Jay-Z. We're hearing whispers of 50 with the Algorithm project that he might drop. Maybe Eminem. I don't know. There's going to be probably some artists that really release albums this year. We have J. Cole already, so maybe Kendrick's going to drop. Regardless, I'm excited, man. New music from artists that I actually listened to. Instead of these newer guys dropping it, I'm being honest with you, I don't really rock with a lot of the newer artists' music. They just don't make great music like that. No disrespect to a lot of the newer artists, but I just don't really care. I'm more hyped about Jay-Z or Kanye or, J. Cole, Kendrick, 50, Game, Jeezy, these late 90s, early 2000s artists dropping than, these newer generations, really, to be honest with you. So, let me know what you guys think. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.